Hello.
Hello, David.
Luna.
Hello out there.
Thanks for coming back. So, yeah, I think in my head that if I keep giving love and patience and compassion to horses that have a nipping issue or certain issues, they're just going to magically, just give them love, they're going to get better. So, how do you work with horses then?
Someone wrote something on one of my Facebook pages and a little scuffle ensued about, what's the word I can never say, anthropomorphic.
Anthropomorphic.
Yes, it's so hard for me to say. When we assign human feelings to animals, and one lady is a big horse lover, but she doesn't like when we humanize them too much. I think at 58 years old, being with them now for over 50 years, I believe that we can do that. I think it's okay to do that because I think that we are more similar than we are different with horses. And I have my own science lab. I am here at the stable 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week, sometimes 12 hours a day. Who better to tell you something? I'm telling you, I don't feel that I'm making these things up. I'm a fairly, what's the word?
Pragmatic?
Yeah, I'm a fairly pragmatic person. But I've been shown a lot of magical and spiritual things, much of it by them. So, with that said, when you have a horse that is behaving with anger, acting out with frustration, hurting the human, you can't fight fire with fire. Mm-hmm. You can fight fire with fire as a quick fix, but you can't fight fire with fire in the long run. And it's going to be a ticking time bomb that's going to be sitting there ready to go off. The only way to cure a relationship with a horse that has become angry, hostile, challenging, is exhibiting dangerous behavior, is to treat it with love and kindness and compassion. Even if it just breaks your spirit some days that you are just so angry. It's really the only way. I've seen and watched and tried in the old days to give back what I was getting from those types of horses. Doesn't go anywhere.
Of course, yeah.
Doesn't go
They're not going to go, oh, I get it. I'll stop.
Even down to banging the stall at feeding.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I used to be like, don't you break my barn down, and I would get after, and I would get after whoever was doing it, and it hurts their feet too.
Oh,
Didn't get anywhere for years. The banging, went on and on. Finally, I reorganized how I fed in a very consistent order.
So you don't have to.
Everybody knew exactly when they were getting their feed. Everybody knew what to expect. Did not punish the ones who were doing that. Ignored it. Just ignored it. Said, I am feeding in my order. You know my order. You see me do it every night.
So you don't have to.
Don't hurt your foot.
And
I'm not going to get mad at you because something in me thinks that you enjoy that exchange. It's attention seeking. It's like little kids who are naughty. It's attention seeking. Not even just little kids, adults who are naughty, attention seeking. So ignore it. Again, back to consistency. Consistency with horses will only ever be your friend. Only ever be your friend. The more consistent you can be with all of your actions and reactions, especially your reactions. Don't you hate it when you're around people who you never know how they're going to react? And you can do like the same exact thing, and one day you get a positive reaction from them, and one day you get a negative reaction from them. Imagine how they feel about that. And
it's unfair to them.
It's unfair to
with
anybody.
With humans, okay, that person is inconsistent. With them,
they don't know.
They have no clue.
Well, I guess they figure it out too.
They figure it out. They do. I know.
Yeah. So I think that treating them, like I've said before, you can't train out trauma. I can't beat trauma out of you. I can't, punish trauma out of you. I can only be compassionate towards you. Try to understand. Try to be a detective. And go to the root of what your trauma is, and then see how we can try to heal it. And a lot of trauma is based, human, dog, horse, trust, right? Mostly. It's got a trust factor in there somewhere. Somewhere either the trauma was caused by a breach of trust, and that's what caused the trauma, or there's now a breach of trust because of the trauma. So trust is a very, very intricate part with trauma. There's an element of trust. So it's great when you can find an old owner and they'll tell you, yeah, you know, I got her from a rescue and the rescue told me that she was neglected. She sat in her stall for literally a year and nobody came. You know, or some story like that. Then you know what that horse's problem is. Abandonment, inconsistency, you know, neglect. You need to help fill that hole first. So you have a biter. Yes, you have to protect yourself. But try everything you can not to put the horse in the position where it's going to bite you.
Right.
You have to take some responsibility too.
I've learned that with Callie.
Callie, I was just going to bring Callie up.
I feel like she's getting better.
She is getting better.
Or I'm figuring out how to...
Both things are happening.
Oh, you're so cute.
He's saying right now, someone's got to scratch my neck for me.
Oh, I see.
Shall they do?
Yeah. Look at that mouth.
Oh, yes. We have to scratch that chest. I don't want you to get a splinter, so I will scratch it for you. And because I love to touch you when you want me to touch you. When you have a horse that is biting, don't let that horse's mouth get close to you. You know, keep your space. Maybe the horse is even telling you, you're too close to me.
Yeah, this isn't...
Or, I don't like you in front of me. I want you on the side of me. You know, we always have to try to see what the horse is telling us. Horses generally don't just bite for no reason. There's always a reason.
Maybe it's the halter.
It could be anything, and you've got to be a detective. And you've got to go back and you've got to figure out what is it that is bothering you so much that you have to lash out at me like this. If I was another horse, you'd be getting it back right now tenfold. You know, you're not going to just bite some other horse and they're going to, well, I guess unless it's a horse that's insecure and will allow that to happen. But normally a secure horse is going to at least try to get one good bite back in. Unless they knew they did something offensive, and usually
they know, so they won't. Yeah.
Usually they're very good at being accountable and taking responsibility. And if they know they piss somebody off,
okay, that's my bad.
Yeah. So, they're very itchy.
Very interesting.
So you cannot train out trauma. You don't bring your horse that is suffering from trauma to like one of these people who's gonna
beat them down.
Beat them even further down. It's gonna work.
Oh.
It will work because the horse says, okay, to survive, I have to stop doing X, Y, and Z, and they realize that. But you get them back home again, and you get them back
and they're out of baggage
into a comfortable situation. I will come in and do that for you in a moment. You get them into a situation where they are now comfortable again. Now they have even more trauma. Mm-hmm. On top of that, you've just piled on it. I would say to someone, if you aren't willing to unpack that very ugly baggage, don't take that horse. If you think you can send that kind of a horse to a trainer to train it out of them, you are going to get back something even worse. Not for a couple of months. It's going to be awesome for a couple of months. You're going to have the dream horse that you wanted to, but it's all going to start coming out again because it doesn't just disappear. Does your trauma just disappear overnight because you wanted to?
No, you can try and move it around.
Yeah, you can try shuffling it around.
Covering it up.
And you can try distracting yourself. And you can try filling the holes to try to put that trauma in some place where it will sit. But it's always going to be there. You have to go to the root. You can't. With animals, we think we can train out trauma. With people, we would never think that.
Stop biting.
We would never say, slap you because you're depressed today, or I'm going to beat you up because you're depressed.
Stop drinking.
Yeah. We're more compassionate with other humans. We need to be compassionate with them. And sadly, with horses, most horses, by the time they get to a certain age, have a lot of trauma from us. We put it on there. We should be the ones to take accountability and help take it away.
What I really got from this was don't put yourself in a situation where you know the horse has a certain reaction, and then also giving them gentle corrections. Like if Callie goes to nip, I'll just gently touch her.
Yes, the voice, using a very strong voice cue.
No.
being aware. We mostly get hurt when we're not aware. You know?
I'm putting on the halter, I'm looking away,
Yes.
and then all of a sudden, yeah.
The last time I got bit, I knew this horse should not be in that stall with everybody passing by. I knew she was there. I knew that what the possibilities were. So every time I went by, I was very careful. I didn't give her a reason. Then I started talking to someone. Next thing that happened, that giant bruise on my arm. She's lashing out. She wants attention. She's trying to get attention.
It's that simple.
Every time I walked by, giving her the respect she wanted, she's like, okay, yeah, okay, good. I feel good about myself. You're looking at me. You're connecting with me as you walk by. Great.
So simple.
The one time I didn't connect with her when I walked by, I got the bite. I put myself in that position. So some people don't want to do that work. Some people just want to take a otherwise wonderful horse, a great body, athletic potential that has some problems, and they don't want to fix it in a loving way. They just want to send it to someone who will do the beating. I'll beat that out of you.
Or we take them for granted and think they're just a horse. That's just how they are. Instead of, oh, they have this behavior. Maybe they need more attention. Maybe I'll be more careful when I put the halter on. Maybe I'll pet them down before I put the halter on. They don't just want to be treated like a machine.
No, absolutely. Do any of us?
No.
None of us.
Hey, do this. Hey, do that. Yeah. It's like, you know, if you have a moment, can you help me over here? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's about having a relationship. You know, a lot of riding schools these days don't allow you to tack the horses up or groom the horses. They have a groom to do that.
That's the opposite.
I think that that's really, really wrong. I think that if you want to have a riding relationship with a horse, or even a training or working relationship with a horse, you need to have a full relationship.
I noticed
it has
that
to be a holistic.
Once I started grooming Maverick before getting the dirt out of the not the frog. The frog is in the area.
His foot.
Getting the foot, yeah. And then petting him down, and then it's like we go in the arena, and he already feels like, oh, I'm here with my homie, the person who's taking care of me. Instead of like, now we're working, and then we're done. Yeah.
You got pre-connected.
Pre-connected.
You got pre-connected.
I love that.
I think that that's really important. Sometimes when Travi and I are working, and I know that he's a little bit distracted, I'm like thinking to myself, I think we didn't get pre-connected enough, and I will stop doing whatever I'm doing
and go back
and start scratching him in the places that I know he loves.
And then he kind of lulls.
Spend some time, ask him if there's anything he needs for me to do for him. Just stand with him if he wants it, and then say, can we start again? And then usually everything's right.
He's like, okay, I'm connected now.
Yeah.
I love that. Wow.
So again, I think the most important thing to remember is all of us have our baggage. Again, horses are generally not treated very well. They're going to have a lot of baggage. There's perfectly wonderful ones out there that just need to have those bags gone through, sorted out, get all the dirty laundry out of it, wash it, pack it all back in nicely. That's all they need. And that cannot be done with anything but compassion.
And time.
And time. Lots of time. And you have to...
And attention.
You have to be willing to give that time.
And pay attention. We're all on our phones. We're all thinking about our jobs and our partners and our...
Yeah,
what am I going to do next?
It's true. When we're at the barn, we really should be
mindful, present.
Mindful, present, and focused on the horses.
Intimate.
Yeah, allowing that intimacy to come. If you keep all your devices going and you're more interested in talking to another horse owner, you will miss a lot of stuff.
And they're very well aware.
Very well aware.
That's their job to survive, is to know what's going on. You're going, wait, you're here next to me? You just were petting me, but now you're over there. You're here, but you're over there.
Yeah, they're very good at judging the situation. Very, very astute. Yeah.
Wow, this is a really cool video.
Another good one.
Thank you, Nina.
Another good talk, David. Thank you.
Always a great time. We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Wow, this is great. We're building up that archive.